Hey team, Jack Delosa here, founder of The Entourage, and welcome to this episode of the Make It Happen show. Over the last 12 months, business owners everywhere have had quite a challenging journey in navigating the uncertainty of everything that's been going on in the world. For our 11th birthday here at The Entourage, we wanted to do something about that. We've created a resource center where everything you need, regardless of what stage of business you are at, is in this resource center, whether it's short courses, ebooks for how do you start, how do you grow, how do you scale beyond yourself, how do you build an organization that's scalable and sustainable that can grow beyond you. It is all there. Simply head to www.the-entourage.com/resources to access everything you need from the world's best entrepreneurs to start growing faster now. Let's get into the Make It Happen show.
We need to start leading. We need to start directing. We need to start diagnosing our consumers. It requires behavioral flexibility. It requires us to ask the right questions. Understand that it's not about us. It's not about what our product and service is. It's not about the features that we provide. It's more about who our audience and consumers are. And when we truly are connected to the hip with our audience, we can be more effective. We can do sales more effectively. You'll be deemed pushy, guys, if you're pushing something out there that isn't truly authentically aligned with and true to you. If you're conveying something that you truly believe in, that's called leadership.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of the Make It Happen show, where it's time for you to make it happen. In these implementation sessions, we're joined by an industry expert who will take you through in detail how to make it happen in your business. These are full of implementable actions, so get your pens ready, take notes, and be ready to apply these to your business. Let's get into it.
Hey team, Stev Lackovic here from The Entourage. As head of entrepreneurial development here at The Entourage over the last 6 years, I've been working in a hands-on fashion in driving and fueling our own growth globally, but also working with our members and helping them build some of Australia's fastest growing 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses over that time. And a lot of the time I get a lot of business owners reaching out saying, Stev, I find myself wearing all of the hats. I find myself doing all of the sales, and I usually am so good at it and I have a fear of handing it over to other people, or I find myself hating doing the sales because I didn't expect to wear this hat. Well, the third thing is, Stev, this is not why I started my business. I have a fear of sales and I don't want to do it. So many business owners reach out to me and say, I'm not a sales expert. How do I get past my fear of sales or public speaking? And how do I overcome this now? Team, I'm going to give you 5 simple principles that you can apply into your world that enable you to generate more profitable revenue in a from-heart way that is instantly scalable. Let's go. So number 1, what are you thinking? I ask a lot of our business owners, whether they're doing 6, 7, 8, or 9 figures, what are you thinking about sales, right? How do you view it? A lot of business owners are scared that they're going to be pushy or salesy, right? They don't do sales because they don't want to come across that way to their audience or to their consumer. So to get a different result, to get a different outcome, we've got to go back to the seed, go back to the core, go back to the essence, and look at what is the story that I'm telling myself about sales and how is it impacting my actions and how is that impacting the results that I'm getting in my business thus far. Now, if we take it back to the start, a lot of business owners start a business because they truly think they can do it better. They truly think the product and service that I'm delivering enriches people's lives and adds value to their world. Now, if we truly believe this, we've got to stand on the biggest mountain and scream. Now, how we do sales needs to change. One of the key core principles you need to understand as a business owner is that sales and business is a skill. Being able to eloquently guide someone through a buyer's journey is a skill. Being able to ask the right questions is a skill. But what we need to do before we develop the skill set is understand what is the relationship I have with sales, what is the story I'm telling myself, and how is that leading to the actions I'm doing or not doing and the results I'm getting in my business. Now, principle number 2 is we've got to have a doctor's mindset, right? And what I mean by doctor's mindset is I trust the doctor to ask the right questions, right? You need to see yourself as the doctor in your industry. If you're in finance, you need to be the doctor in finance. If you're in construction, you need to be the doctor in construction. It comes to a point in time where we need to start leading. We need to start directing. We need to start diagnosing our consumers. It requires behavioral flexibility. It requires us to ask the right questions. It requires us to fully listen. It requires us to fully digest all of the right information. It requires us to fully care and empathize with the person that we are speaking to. It requires us to lead. I believe that there is so much information in this world. You can Google the shit out of anything. I think consumers crave personalization. We live in a noisy world where they crave personalization. Consumers can be overwhelmed with so much information and they come to us, the experts, the doctors, saying, what the fuck's my best next step? What do I do? I truly believe that it's our responsibility as business owners and entrepreneurs to lead. We need to effectively diagnose, we need to effectively tell our audience by understanding their world better than they know themselves so we can lead them to what their best next step is. I believe that people want to be guided. I believe that they want us to tell them what to do. You need to understand that when you serve your consumers best, you best lead them. So lead them, guys. Principle number 3 is be authentic. I believe that people want to be authentically led. They want leadership. I don't tell the doctor what to do. I trust the doctor to tell me what to do. I truly believe hand on heart that we need to guide your audience and your consumers in what they need to be doing and what their best next steps are. But we need to guide our audience and tell them what they need to be doing in a way which is truly representative of who we are and how we show up, because they'll be better for it. They want your confidence. They want your authenticity. They want your passion. They want your experience. They want your leadership. People are silently begging to be led. You'll be deemed pushy, guys, if you're pushing something out there that isn't truly authentically aligned with and true to you. If you're conveying something that you truly believe in, that's called leadership. Your people want it, so do it. As entrepreneurs, we need to bring more of you. We need to bring all of you to the table in sales, in leadership, in management. Guys, I truly believe that entrepreneurship is all about resonance. You can only resonate when you show up with all of who you truly are. So when you show up being authentically you, that's when you'll connect. That's when people will trust you to be the doctor and trust you to be the leader in their world. Alrighty, principle number 4 is obsess about your consumer. Guys, I 100% hand on heart believe and know that the entrepreneur that is most connected to their audience is the entrepreneur that is most effective in the long run. Now, what do I mean by that? Exactly this. I was having a conversation with Tony Nash, the CEO and founder of Booktopia. For those of you guys that don't know Tony, he started Booktopia back in 2004 on a $10 budget and has built it now to generating over $215 million in annualized revenue. And we were running a masterclass in a boardroom environment for 30 or 40 of our 7 and 8 figure community members. And the one thing he was saying is, Stev, over the last 17 years, the one question I ask myself and our team remains the same. It's, what do my customers want? He said a lot of my effectiveness in managing and leading my team, a lot of our effectiveness in doing sales, a lot of our effectiveness in connecting with our audience and selling them something that they genuinely need has stemmed from that one question. So when you take the time and when you truly obsess about who your audience is, who your consumers are, what they need, how they want it, where they're living, where they're coming from. There's so many different sales channels and avenues that are coming into business owners' worlds right now. So we need to deep dive and take a step back and understand that it's not about us. It's not about what our product and service is. It's not about the features that we provide. It's more about who our audience and consumers are. And when we truly are connected to the hip with our audience, we can be more effective. We can do sales more effectively. We understand what their away and towards motivators are. We understand what their fears, what their wants, what their needs, what their goals and ambitions are. And what we can do is create an eloquent buyer's journey that helps them buy what they need to enrich and add value to their lives. So the number 4 principle is obsess about your consumer. Also, another reason why this is important is Blockbuster. Another reason why this is important is the taxi industry. Our ability to stay connected with our consumers doesn't just directly impact how well we can sell to them, but it also impacts how we pivot. It also impacts how we innovate. It trickles through in everything that we do. So principle number 4 is obsess about your consumer.
Hey team, Jack again. Just another invitation to make sure you're jumping into our resource center to be guided by the world's best entrepreneurs for how you can grow and scale great companies. Head to www.the-entourage.com/resources to make it happen. Now, let's get back into the show.
Principle number 5 is process is key. Process is key. Now, guys, when I mean process, I don't mean high-level sales flow. Process is how well do we bottle magic. Process is how well can we get out of someone's brain how they do sales. So when we look at how do we build a highly effective sales process, it needs to have 4 key principles, right? I'm going to give you another 4 key principles, so write these down. Principle number 1 in building a highly effective sales process. 1, we need to be able to have a high converting sales process. If we're converting at 50%, the process needs to convert at 60%. If we're converting at 70 or 80%, we need to have a process that converts at 80%. It's not the person converts at this number, the process converts at this number. So number 1 is have a high converting sales process. Principle number 2, it needs to shorten the length of the sales cycle. So we need the models and frameworks that either you or someone in your team can follow that shortens the sales cycle. Now, some sales cycle are 2 months, but it can be 1. Some sales cycles are 10 clicks and it needs to be 5. Some sales cycles are 2 weeks and it needs to be 1. We need to have the right sales process that shortens the sales cycle. Main reason why is because speed kills sales. Speed kills sales. We need an effective process that can shorten the time it takes for a sale to be made so we can do the stuff that is really highest and best use of our time as an entrepreneur. Now, principle number 3 is it needs to increase our average dollar per sale. We need a process that increases the value in which we sell our product. So if we're selling our product at an average dollar per sale of $100, we need to know how do we get it to $150. If we have an average dollar per sale at $5,000, we need to understand, we need to ask ourselves, what are the steps and questions that we need to be asking our consumers and ourselves so we can sell our product and service at a higher price point that reduces our acquisition costs, because this is the one thing that directly impacts our bottom line so we can put the fuel needed in other areas of the business to grow it. So principle number 3 is increase the average dollar per sale. Principle number 4 is replicability. Replicability is crucial. A lot of business owners reach out and say, Stev, I started my business not to do sales, but now I find myself in the stage where I'm doing all of the sales and I don't really enjoy it. But when I hand it over to someone else to be done, they don't do it as well as I do. Why is that? They don't understand audience the way I do. They can't effectively diagnose and be the doctor as well as I can. So this is where we need a sales process that we can bottle the magic, that we have a process that eloquently guides someone through a buyer's journey, that we can now hand over to a team member or staff member, and they can do it in a way in which converts just as good, if not better than you, at a price point that we do, and at a time frame that we do it. So we can stop being the technician, stop doing all of the sales in the business, and truly start to lean into the activities and tasks that contribute to achieving our vision. So number 4 is replicability. Alrighty, so to recap, process is key. 1, we need to have a high converting sales process. Number 2, we need to shorten the time it takes to make a sale. Number 3, we need a process that enables us to increase the average dollar per sale. And number 4, it needs to be replicable. Alrighty, crew. So if you're a business owner that is stuck doing all the sales and you don't enjoy it, if you're a business owner that's stuck doing all of the sales and are really good at it and want to figure out how do I get my team to be as good as me so it's not dependent on me, or if you're a business owner that's had a fear of sales and has a fear of being pushy or salesy, these 5 core principles, if applied into your world right now, will directly impact how much revenue we bring through the door and how much time we spend ultimately doing sales, which hopefully is 0. Guys, to recap, step number 1, we need to think about how we think about sales. What's our relationship to sales and what's the story we're telling us? Step number 2 is, do we truly have a doctor's mindset? We need to diagnose, we need to tell, we need to be the leader. Number 3 is be you, be authentic, show up all of who you are. Number 4 is obsess about your consumer. Understand and be connected to who your audience and consumers truly are so you can build a sales process that helps them buy and gives them more of what they need. Now, number 5 is build the process. Process is key. So guys, lean into these 5 principles wholeheartedly, and I can guarantee that your relationship with sales will change. The speed in which you drive profitable revenue will change in a positive manner. Guys, if you want more help, if you feel like this was a fire hose to the mouth, please jump on any of the links below or reach out to us here at The Entourage in getting help in implementing this into your world and your team. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Make It Happen show. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And it doesn't need to end there. We've actually gone and grabbed a whole bunch of extra resources for you. Behind the scenes footage, videos from this and all the other episodes, as well as show notes that you can grab for free. Just head along to www.the-entourage.com/podcast and you can grab all those extra resources. Thanks for tuning in, and I cannot wait to introduce you to our next guest on the next episode.